thinking, because it's just we got a lot. There's a lot going on, like nationally, locally. I see, babe. Yeah, there's just a lot going on. It's like there's so much I want to be able to cover, and there's so much that I feel has to be covered, and then there's so much that's like, well, it kind of applies. It's just something I'm not as interested in, but I still kind of should cover it, or we should talk about it. So we'll see. We'll see. We got a bunch of stories. We got a bunch of stories for everyone tonight. So we'll see what happens. Huh?
I need to go see why the children.
Yeah. Oh, kids are crying downstairs. My wife's gonna go take a look at that and see what the heck's going on there, because they like to fight all the time. Oh, you know what's funny? I asked her to grab my phone. I don't even remember if she brought my phone up. Doesn't really matter. So we'll go ahead and just dive into this first article, which is absolutely hilarious. The Daily Mail's reporting. I don't know if my wife put it over to where you guys can see it. I'm gonna stay behind this so you don't see my ugly ass legs as I stand up, because I'm only in just shorts. But Muslims complain it is racist to tow their cars for being parked illegally outside main mosque, as nearby business blares national anthem and What Does the Fox Say during services. Well, let's be fair, they blare their frickin' squiggly music out for everyone to hear when they're doing their services, and it's absolutely annoying as heck. Thank goodness we don't have it here. Oh, do you want to go ahead and pull this article up on the screen for everyone? I was just starting to talk about it.
Yes, sorry. Little one was not happy.
Yeah, figures. So, yeah, scroll on down after you show. Everyone sees it now?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so go ahead and scroll on down. So a mosque in Maine has suggested it is a victim of a racist campaign after its worshippers' illegally parked cars were ticketed and towed away. Well, don't break the law. Look, I get it. You guys think that Sharia law is this special law that you get, that none of our laws apply to you. Like, what was it? That 14-year-old girl that was raped in England that I just heard about? And the freaking guy's reasoning is that Sharia law allows him to rape non-Muslim women, and it's not a crime. And it's like, well, that's what we should have the death penalty for.
He only listens to Sharia law and Allah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that's an older article or newer, because there's a bunch of older articles circulating. But still, if anyone has that mindset, go back to your country.
Yeah, see, they try to claim that we worship the same God, but I'm pretty sure the Bible condemns that. So I don't think it's the same God. I really don't. Sounds more like they're worshiping something else, like the devil or something. Scroll up. Whatever mosque in Lewiston blasted both the town's police department and its neighbor, Mid-Valley Motors, Leonard Heavy Duty Towing Company, over recent incidents during its religious service. Is this their neighbors? The business next door to them that's towing them because they're parked illegally?
Because they have a tow company. So Mid-Valley Motors /
I really hope it's the company right next to them that's towing them for parking illegally, because that's freaking hilarious. A spokesperson told the Lewiston Sun-Journal the Lewiston Police Department conducted numerous unnecessary and targeted parking enforcement sweeps near the mosque on Friday, ignoring their responsibility to keep the community safe, to instead focus on a right-wing grievance. Really? Right-wing grievance? Really? I doubt it's a grievance from the right wing. I bet you, I haven't even read this article yet, I bet you there is a long history of this mosque and their partitioners freaking parking illegally, with tons of complaints from the locals and the businesses nearby. and nothing happening until now, and now all of a sudden they're complaining about it being like some form of racism or something when it's not. Let's see, what the heck is that frickin'...
It's because of being highlighted by me
Oh,
for you.
get rid of the highlight then, please.
Just trying to help you out.
No,
Let
you're
me
good.
Next.
You're good. I was just like, what the heck is that? Many of the tickets issued were to cars that obstructed or blocked driveways. You know, that's kind of frickin' straightforward. You never park in front of driveways. The mosque is open from before dawn until 11 p.m. every day, with Fridays the busiest day for the services. That's weird. I thought they worship mostly on Saturdays. But I guess they got some good stuff going on Fridays in this mosque or something. Matthew, who is the general manager of the Mid-Valley Motors and sister business, Leonard Heavy Duty Towing, was unrepentant and said, if you park illegally, you will be towed. Well, frickin' don't park illegally. You're parking in front of a driveway. That is a serious issue, because that is how emergency vehicles can access buildings more quickly. It's how people can get their vehicles out of an area if there's danger. It is a serious issue to be parking in front of a driveway. You can't be doing that, and these people, sounds like a personal problem now.
Well, when we lived somewhere previously, we had the one parking stall where we could park our vehicle, and I was working late, and I get home, and someone is parked where I have to park my car.
Oh, is that when we were at the condo?
Yeah. So we had to get the car towed so I could park my car.
Yeah, I had 2 cars towed from there. That one, because you needed to be there, and then also frickin' there was another night you were working late like that as well, and someone came and parked there, and I frickin' had them towed long before you ever got there. It's just like, you guys are parking in our spot. This isn't like, this is in front of our garage where we are supposed to be able to park our cars. We got 1 car in the garage, 1 car that's not there in the driveway because it's about to get home with you coming home.
And we didn't want to have to cross the street at night when it's dark and cars just blare through there.
No, there's no lights to help light up the area at all, so you're only relying on headlights.
Yeah.
And when you're crossing that street from having to park out on the street, it's pretty freaking awful. And cars came through quite fast. You are right about that. It's ridiculous. We just want to go about running our businesses. Scroll on down to see if there's anything else we got in here. Beautiful photo. Beautiful photo of the car on a tow truck. I absolutely love it. Yeah.
Why, you like that look?
That's a great look for their cars if they're parked illegally.
Do you wish you had a tow truck?
Yeah, that'd be fun towing
Get some
people.
money.
Yeah, that's true. Alright, scroll on down. What does the fox say? Oh, that's hilarious. So apparently they're blaring the national anthem and what does the fox say, which is absolutely hilarious during their services. You know, they can worship how they want inside their buildings. When it comes to outside, like, you know what? If it's some type of music or bell or something, as long as it doesn't last very long, that's fine.
Here you go.
But when it lasts as long as it does for them, it's absolutely absurd. Denied deliberately targeting Muslims, saying he had recently towed a U.S. Census Bureau worker for parking illegally. I like this guy.
I think they're mad about the second and third.
He towed a Fed and got away with it. That's the best part. That's freaking awesome. He also came under fire after his business started blaring songs out of speakers during Muslim worship. Among the songs blasted out at high volume were the Star Spangled Banner, which that's awesome, and who let the dogs out, I'm a little teapot, and what does the fox say? I don't know. I think what does the fox say and I'm a little teapot pretty much takes the cake. That's freaking hilarious. Get out of my spot. Oh, I get it. Like, I'm not sitting in your spot. This is my seat. But no. Oh, I won't deny. Who let the dogs out's a good one, especially since that whole religion like hates dogs. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, let's hit up that next article. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, delete that tab. I guess I've accidentally kept that tab open. It's this one here. Scroll to the top there. So, Dems rip for Stop Nick Shirley Act that could shield fraud and abuse in California. So, Nick Shirley, a member of the church, recently returned from his mission. He decides, well, he's got nothing better to do with his life, so he's going to start just exposing billions of dollars of fraud in Minnesota.
Well, he decided to be an investigative journalist. You know? Really?
Yeah. He decided what better for a returned missionary to do than expose millions in fraud, possibly billions in fraud, and then gets bored doing it in Minnesota, so now he hit up California. And California is in a panic. California Democrats are being ripped over a bill that one state assembly member has dubbed the Stop Nick Shirley Act, which he argues would criminalize investigative journalism. So basically, he starts exposing lots of fraud in California, and California's response is, let's make it illegal to investigate fraud.
And what was the comment we said that if you're trying to cover up fraud, you'd say this? If you create a bill you said it much better than I could.
Yeah, well, if you're probably guilty of fraud if you're trying to stop people from investigating fraud. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much it. So the Democrats are all probably committing fraud in California because they're trying to stop Nick Shirley from investigating the fraud they're committing.
Plus, they're also really unhappy right now. They're looking at getting rid of their jungle rule for voting in their governor. Remember? I discussed that with you earlier.
Oh, yeah. So I guess is that what it's called? A jungle rule or a jungle
like that. Yeah.
A jungle election? So California's election, the way it functions is everyone's in a giant pot as a candidate, and everyone's voting for who they want as a candidate. Well, there's so many Democrats that all the Democrats like that they're splitting the vote so much that what happens is the two top people in the primary are the people who go on to the general election in California. And the two top slots are being held by Republicans because there's so many Democrats splitting up the Democrat vote into primary. And so if it continues forward as is, they're going to have to choose. A Democrat state is going to have to choose between Republican A and Republican B in their gubernatorial race. And it's freaking hilarious.
Hey, I think
but
it's
apparently,
awesome.
yeah, I guess they're trying to get rid of it now because they're in panic. Because I guess, democracy doesn't work when it doesn't work the way they want it.
Mm-hmm. They started it in either is 2012 or 2015. I remember reading that. So
that's funny.
They've had it for a while and it's been good, but now they're going, we need to scrap this.
Well, it's been good for them, but that's the thing is like both the Republican and Democrat Party are kind of in their own civil war politically inside their parties. The Republican Party is starting to kind of have a lot of issues, but it's kind of complicated, honestly. But the Democrat Party, their issues are more simple. Is that they're not as united as they used to be behind individual candidates. I would love to see two Republicans running for governor in California. Yeah, that'd be freaking hilarious. That's something I could not wait to see. It would be funny. It's just basically picking who they hate the least for the most part in the for California.
Yep, so I guess let's get back to this about the bill to prevent investigating fraud.
The controversial bill officially titled Privacy for Immigration Support Service Providers.
Really? But they're doing Medicaid fraud and other fraud, and it's just privacy for
Well, they're
immigration
basically just
support?
straight up pointing out who's committing the fraud. That's what they're basically doing. They're pointing to exactly who's committing the fraud. creates privacy protections for immigration support services, employees, volunteers, including hiding their addresses and imposing penalties on those who publish their image on social media. What that? Oh my gosh! I'd have to read the language of it specifically to know what it's saying, but I mean, you're talking about all sorts of First Amendment issues if that's an accurate description.
But hey, you could always get someone like a smaller company publish it. They're not doing it on social media, really.
Yeah.
Maybe it might be a side way around
It's
because they're not doing it independently.
Democrat lawmakers say the legislation is needed to protect people from targeted political violence. No. That's why we have laws that say violence is illegal. Because the laws don't stop people from committing violence. And the information's going to get out whether you like it or not.
Oh, I told you about Minnesota. They voted down investigating further about the fraud that they had. So I think they have more people that were helping, and they just want to stop it there and not investigate some more and get more people caught.
I do agree with this guy, though. Republican Assembly member Carl DeMaio? Yeah, DeMaio. Argues the bill would actually work to, quote, silence citizen journalists and shield taxpayer-funded organizations from public scrutiny. That's effectively what it's doing. I mean, the whole point of passing it is to make it so people can't just so easily expose the fraud these organizations are committing.
I think Virginia passed theirs, where NGOs, you don't have to get, you don't get to audit them. They just get to give them their money.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that one did pass in Virginia. So it's the same kind of thing. No investigating. Maybe it's not quite as bad, but still.
Yeah, this is ridiculous, though. If the law goes into effect, California Secretary of State will oversee a program that will conceal from public records the addresses of any person who has provided, quote, designated immigration support services, including services like healthcare, legal assistance, so illegal assistance, helping illegals, and case management, if they have been subjected to threats, harassment, or violence stemming from their work. See, that's just so vague because it's like there's a difference between just receiving a threat and an actual credible threat. That's the thing. So, yeah, they're kind of in full panic in California trying to hide the fraud that's now being exposed. But I think the damage is already done. Nick Shirley's already got the ball rolling, and it's just going to keep cascading from here.
But this part doesn't make sense to me. The California Secretary of State will assign participants. How do you become a participant? A substitute address, which will be used by local and state agencies and will be taxed with forwarding mail to program participants' real addresses. So you're going to be making another small USPS inside the government to deal with their mail.
Oh my gosh.
That is more money being wasted being a secondary mail carrier.
Yeah. No, that's just
so
it's California. What do you expect?
Participants, they might do every single illegal as a participant.
You know, I really did actually think that at one point we should just build a wall around Utah to prevent the California refugees from coming here. But now I'm thinking we just need to build a wall around California just to protect the rest of the world from them. Because they're such idiots. It's just, why are you doing this? It's just, they're not idiots. You know, they're not idiots. They're smart because this is just being evil. They're not actually stupid. They're just being evil. They're choosing to actively be evil. A participant covered
private citizens or businesses from posting the image. So I guess they're doing that because Nick Shirley was going to houses that were registered as a daycare, and the owners are like, "There's no daycare here."
Yeah.
It's like, then why are you registered as a daycare and receiving money?
Well, there's this other one, though. The participant covered under the program could file a complaint in court against a person or organization that posts their image and could be awarded up to $4,000.
Yeah, a participant.
So the nice thing is I bet you I bet you Nick Shirley is making more than $4,000 per video. And so if he's making more than $4,000 per video with how viral some of his videos are going, any fines he's going to be dealing with are not going to be a problem.
Yeah, but they said $10,000 fines, 3 years in prison.
Mm-hmm.
This is the person will be awarded by going to court against the person.
Yeah. That's a lawsuit, though.
That's the victim.
Not the actual crime statute. Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Violators of the law
1
could
year.
face additional criminal penalties, including $10,000 fine or up to a year in jail. Well, if this passes, Nick Shirley should continue to do it. And in the moment they try to freaking arrest him for it, he needs to come to Utah and force this state to extradite him.
But this seems...
I don't want Utah to extradite him, but I want the Utah governor, Cox, to actually be forced to make that decision, to choose to stand up for what's right or to extradite him to California to face the criminal penalties.
But this seems like a conflict of interest. The author of the bill is Mia Bonita, the wife of the Attorney General.
Yeah.
Conflict of interest.
Not really. It's not that big of a deal. It would be if her husband was committing some of this fraud, then it'd definitely be conflict of interest. But let's go ahead and hit up that next article. This one's hilarious. Or no, not this one. There's another one. No, this is the one. Nope, this is the one. Afghan refugee living in a taxpayer-funded shelter is now accused of torturing and raping defenseless goats and sheep at a family-run educational farm.
You need to be careful with your words.
No, I don't. That's fine.
Okay.
I don't care what YouTube says. YouTube, we barely get any views anyways. YouTube can screw itself.
And this is in France, not the United States, but...
It's in France, but just keep in mind the kind of people that they're bringing over here. They really do like your family pets a lot more than you.
Yeah, it was I think a 19-year-old, and they actually did get fluid from out of the goat, and they found them tied up multiple times.
Wait, they found the sheep tied up?
Multiple times,
oh
yes.
My gosh. He's into that BDSM lamb.
Yeah.
Oh, he's into the BDSM lamb stuff. That's right. There we go. Frickin' hell. 19-year-old.
Yeah. So
couldn't get enough of it online, so he decided to go and hit up the local farm.
And that's the hard part is, do we want these people in this country?
No, absolutely not. The farm, which has 250 animals, installed motion-activated trail cams after the first incident. Wow. These people.
Yep, and it showed the young man coming in at night. And he said he wasn't being, but they caught in the act. I'm sorry.
Oh,
he was caught in the act.
Oh my gosh.
So I think
take those photos and plaster them on the town light poles. Gosh dang. Caught him in the act, pants around his ankles, behind a tied up goat.
I guess that's why you make fun of the stereotype.
Look, stereotypes exist for a reason. I have always said this. Whenever one of my friends like, that stereotype's racist, I'm like, well, it exists for a reason. And it's because it happens more often than people want to admit. He faces charges of cruelty to a domestic animal, which carries a penalty of up to 3 years in prison and a $55,000 fine.
It's just hard. He's living in a state-paid shelter and seeking asylum.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. But it's freaking hilarious. It's exactly what everyone pretty much expects to happen.
If you want to know, we did look up an article. This is a real story. It
Oh,
is
yeah.
real.
You can look it up. It's, oh my gosh. Scroll on down. I just think the photos are funny. It shows all just a bunch of little innocent lambs.
Well, it said he did to a 5-month-old one too.
I know. No, click on that AI photo. I just point that out. It's pretty obvious to notice when they're AI photos. Like when the shadows are all going different directions and there's no light source identifying exactly where the light's coming from that's causing those shadows. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
Wow, I am yawning way more than I should be right now. Oh, the poor innocent goats and lambs.
Yep.
Remember, I guess these Afghanis, they love their BDSM goat corn. Alright, next article. Daniel Greenfield, Islamic networks take over Catholic charities to import Muslims into America. Talk about crap that needs to get shut down. So basically, it's a Catholic charity that helps import or helps refugees effectively, right?
They said there's one here, at least in Utah. There's been another one revealed in Oklahoma where they imported a refugee, then the refugee gets hired by the Catholic charity, then they rise through the ranks and they become in charge of it.
Yeah.
Or become a very high person of it.
And then in turn hire more of their refugee friends that they helped get over into where they're basically just running it all on their own.
And this article is pointing out that a lot
These
of these
organizations receive
organizations
substantial government funding and, in practice, operate as profitable enterprises.
Yeah, one
they
thing-
get money per capita, basically. They get money for every person they're bringing in, which is absolutely absurd.
One article was saying they were getting paid over $2,000 per person. So previously the charity brought very few people in. Then once it started, they started bringing in 1,800 people in a short amount of period, and had to hire new people to help get the money going.
Yeah, it's
Unfortunately.
ridiculous. So that's the thing, is if you're a member of the Catholic Church, you need to be reaching out to the authorities in your local Catholic Church and to get it passed up. That this is not what these Catholic charities are really meant for. It's meant for actually settling real refugees, not just importing a massive amount of immigrants who don't agree or don't appreciate Utah or the United States.
So
In the Utah case, Greenfield noted the Refugee Service Division of a Catholic organization is effectively run by Muslims. A Somali Muslim, classic, it's a Somali. I mean, freaking, they took piracy off the seas and brought it online. A Somali Muslim originally resettled by the group now heads the program with another Muslim serving as program director. Daniel explained that the organization focuses on importing Somali, Iraqi, Afghan, and other Muslim migrants. So basically, instead of just bringing in refugees who actually needed help, now the charity's been completely perverted to where they're just importing people who like to rape goats.
Here's this. So the result.
The results of an entity that retains a Catholic label and crucifix on the outside but functions as a Muslim organization dedicated to bringing in more Muslims. Yeah.
So the lead Somali administrator that also heads the local Islamic Society and has issued statements in the name of the Catholic Community Services of Utah condemning such actions as displaying an American flag in a mosque. So he's using it to condemn. Why are you showing an American flag in a mosque? You're in the United States of America.
Wait, is he referring to the Catholic Community Services building
He issued
itself?
statements in their name condemning actions of displaying an American flag at a mosque.
Okay. My goodness. Frickin' hell. So a couple Muslims that actually want to So a couple freaking Muslims who actually like America, I guess, are flying an American flag, and they get condemned by these people. Shows you exactly the type of people they want to bring into this country.
Yeah.
All right, next tab.
Okay. You didn't want to talk any more about this stuff?
No,
Okay.
it's going all over the place. LDS, even charities from the or money from the LDS church is getting into this in some ways, and it sucks. So if you're LDS as well, I mean, that's something to bring up, is the fact that some of our money that we're donating to the church and that the church is getting into this. And to be fair, both the Catholic Church and the LDS Church probably have no clue how this money is being used in this targeted manner, and they probably don't approve of it. All right, next tag.
Yeah. Well, we just try to support other religions. You have the freedom of choice, and that is what we are.
Yeah, well, there's a strong argument that freedom of religion actually doesn't mean freedom of non-Christian religion. That's the thing, is you look at what our founding fathers said, that when they talked about how this Constitution is only fit for governing a moral and religious people, they didn't consider any of these other religions moral. It was only Christian was moral. And so there's actually, it's been gone over, there's a strong argument that when they said the right or the freedom of religion, that it was saying freedom of Christian religion is effectively what they were trying to say.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they wouldn't want frickin' Muslims in our government. I guarantee it. No, they frickin' Thomas Jefferson launched a war against them because they caused us so many problems even back then.
If people want to come here and live the American dream, okay, but if your end goal is to take away other people's rights to that dream, you don't need to come here.
Yeah. And as you know, how Utah is dealing with a historic drought possibly this year, because like where my job site is right now, it should be under like up to 6 to 8 feet of snow right now still, and we've got none, absolutely zero. Freaking people like Governor Cox, freaking traitor to Utah pretty much, has decided in the past to keep importing more and more people into Utah, whether it's by making it easier for these people to move here, encouraging them to move here, or like this case here, frickin' importing Taliban era population into a conservative state, where he personally wrote Joe Biden and asked that he send those refugees to Utah because we want to help them, and it's really just going to destroy us, because it's not, we're what, babe? I thought you were reading an article earlier that Utah, or not Utah, but the United States right now is at the same point that Europe was 15 years ago when it comes to, or 10 years ago,
so
when Muslim migrants were coming into Europe like crazy.
So the couple of attacks we've had from Islamists in Texas and other places, it's right on line with what was happening in Europe 10 years ago in 2015. So if we do not start turning around, we're going to be in trouble.
If we don't start turning around now, we're going to be seeing gang rapes of young girls across the United States by these terrorists.
No-go zones.
And no-go zones all over the United States where only Muslims can go.
Oh, I read an article that the little crescent lighting that they were doing in New York is not a Muslim tradition. They were doing that to signify to everyone that this is the start of this, to try making it normal. People think they're trying to make it normal for Muslim interaction daily.
Yeah, no, they're trying to signal that they're conquering the U.S., that they've got a foothold here. Yeah, a partnership with Zions Bank, the World Trade Center Utah, and the state's refugee networks to finance a mass intake pressured Utahns to offer housing, while Utah families are struggling with housing shortages and soaring costs. Cox urged residents to step up and take in refugees. No. Advocated for permanent residency. Celebrated their arrival.
Make Congress give.
I know. Celebrated their arrival. Freaking Utah, the state many believed was sheltered from Islamic political influence, is now seeing more mosque expansions, new Islamic centers, rapid demographic change, and aggressive NGO-led migration campaigns.
I think he turned the governor's mansion into a little place for Ramadan or something, a little special
Did he
thing.
really?
Yeah, I read that in an article. He may have done that.
He is a piece of trash, and we should probably kick him out of the church too, because he is LDS, and that's a disappointment. Like, we have no problem with Muslims practicing their religion, but this isn't a case of them practicing. This is they are practicing their religion. The problem, though, is the practice of their religion is going to lead to us being killed for not being members of their religion.
Hey, Romney was the same way. He was supposed to be okay, then he really showed that he was not as truthful as he should be.
No, we figured out pretty quickly, though, Cox was a scumbag. But that is what it is. It is what it is. Hopefully we can get this stuff stopped soon.
So there it is.
And hopefully our freaking legislator will listen to us and stop it.
This is part of the reason why they do it. Millions in federal and state funding flow to these networks every time Afghan arrivals land in Utah.
Jobs, grants, housing contracts, legal aid pipelines, NGO salaries. Yeah, these groups are trash.
Yeah, so I
And he is not a
article.
conservative governor. Scroll up, babe.
Yeah, so I was reading a little bit more on a different article.
Stop. Scroll down. You went too far. There you go. Did not protect you, did not defend your values, and did not consult your communities. Oh, that's for sure. No, he only got elected in office because he was freaking Herbert's effectively VP, his lieutenant governor, his LG. Yep, it's gonna be nasty. Hopefully these things can turn around, because these people are not here to live peacefully with us. They're here to conquer us, and we need to start treating them that way, that they're here to conquer us.
Yeah, but I think there's supposed to be about 10,000 Muslims now, and they're mostly up in the Ogden area, and one of their children
Well, that's what they do,
is
babe.
eligible.
That's what they do, is they focus in one area. It's like Dearborn, Michigan. They focus in one area, because if they all join in one area, they can have complete control there, and then they can start spreading from that point.
And one of their the children that were born here, he is about 20 years old. He is now running to be a congressman. And he is
We
liberal.
can only hope not.
He is liberal. He wants a lot of stuff. Did you want me to find that for you or no?
No, it's all right. Let's go ahead and get to happier news.
Yeah.
Let's get over to the Moroni channel and watch some happy news. Or not watch, but look at some happy news. Come on.
So
Next tab.
we need to stand up for our families or we're going to fall apart.
Yeah.
We need to.
So at this rate, the Philippines is going to rival the U.S. in members of the church. Because right now the U.S. is around 6 million people. Apparently there's a story now that it decreased by like 180 something people. Which is like the first time that the LDS population has decreased in the U.S. But at 6 million, and right here the Philippines is already at almost 1 million now. 905,000 amid steady growth is what it is.
I wonder when they started.
Oh, a long time ago. The question is that the rate at which they're growing. That's the real kicker. So this is going to be awesome. Philippines is expanding quickly. They've got quite a few temples now. I think they now have
3.
Yeah, I think that's equal to the amount that's in Japan, but the difference, though, is they have actually more that are already being built, just not dedicated.
Well, they might also have 2 that are having open houses, or one that was just barely dedicated.
No, they do have, I think, 2. Well, at least one of them that's in an open house right now, right? And then the other one is under construction. I think they might have one more that's coming their way.
And so by the end of last year, they had 3 temples.
Yeah.
So they're going to have potentially 5 pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. Philippines are growing really fast. The people are just hearing the gospel and absolutely loving it, and they're coming to it quickly. absolutely quickly. It's freaking awesome.
Which is what we need. And I keep hearing stories of the Muslims coming to Christ, and that's good. Let them
That
learn
is happening.
the true religion of peace.
That is happening. It's a lot harder for them because they actually have family who will kill them if they do it.
Yeah.
The real religion of peace, not the fake religion of peace. Yeah. Scroll on down. Let's see if they got anything else on here. Nope, they don't. All right. Let's hit up that next tab. Also, Moroni channel. The church takes legal action against Mormon Stories podcast. This is fantastic.
Tell us about the podcast.
So the Mormon Stories podcast, the way they're set up, when it comes to their public image, the imagery they use for their podcast, this is all what's his name, John DeLynn, makes it look and appear like he's either like his podcast is pro LDS or it's also somehow affiliated with the church. And that's what the church is suing him over. Is because of that deceptive imagery that makes it look like, scroll on down, babe, that makes it look like that in the first place. So, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has taken legal action against Mormon Stories podcast over concerns related to branding and potential public confusion about affiliation. The church said it believes that the use of church-related names, terminology, and design elements may lead some audiences to incorrectly assume the podcast is an official church publication or is endorsed by the church. It emphasized that the issue is not the content or viewpoints expressed, but rather how branding choices may affect public understanding of sources and sponsorship. According to the church, the matter was first raised privately in November 2025 in an effort to resolve concerns amicably and without litigation. This was followed by good faith mediation discussions during which the church proposed several options intended to reduce confusion while minimizing disruption to the podcast operations. One key proposal was the inclusion of a brief, clear disclaimer stating the podcast is independent and not affiliated with or endorsed by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Which we are not endorsed either. Don't think we are.
Well, I know. But it's really not a big deal. The step the church described as a common and straightforward approach used to clarify attribution in similar cases. Scroll on down. The church stated that these efforts ultimately did not lead to a resolution, as the requested disclaimer was not implemented and concerns about potential misunderstanding persisted. As a result, it proceeded with filing a complaint in federal court to protect its intellectual property and registered trademarks. Church representatives added that such enforcement actions are applied consistently across a wide range of cases and are intended to ensure that official church materials can be clearly distinguished from independent commentary or third-party content. Pretty straightforward. So, pretty awesome. I'm excited about it because a lot of these anti-Mormons, they are very deceptive in the way they go about trying to lead people astray or lie to people. Lie to people about our faith, what we believe, how we believe, or also what we do. So,
I just realized there's an article we missed pulling up.
What?
That we were going to discuss that was important this week.
What?
It was North Carolina. He instituted Ramadan for a whole month.
Oh, yeah. The governor freaking instituted Ramadan into the freaking
Do you want me to pull it up real
state
quick?
government stuff. No, it's just ridiculous, honestly. It's so ridiculous. There's so much of it, and I don't know what to do because I don't want to report about it, but at the same time, it's surprisingly relevant at the same time.
It just seems weird. He used the word, he commends all residents to abide by it. It's
Yeah,
weird.
let's just go ahead and get off that. Let's go to the next tab. We got
So look it up if you
You
want.
basically got one last tab to get into here. So
Two last ones.
Yep. So scroll on down. We got some images here for the Temple Square Visitors Center Media Resources. So scroll on down. There's plenty here to look at on the site, but keep scrolling. There's something I want to show you. Scroll on. Scroll on. There we go. So we're on the 5th image here. So go ahead and click to go right. So this is the new Visitors Center. Pretty awesome. They got the Krista statue back. Go ahead and hit the next image. So they got a model of the temple itself with all the rooms on the inside for the most part. Kind of just a cut open of the temple to show you what it looks like on the inside.
And it says historic Salt Lake Temple layout. So
yeah, because I've been in the temple, but I never really knew the layout, and I thought this part was just freaking awesome. Because I knew about all the different rooms for the most part, and I knew there was an assembly hall, but I didn't realize how big the assembly hall is in the Salt Lake Temple. I didn't realize that it is basically the entire upper floor is the assembly hall. I had no clue. And it looks awesome too, so it's definitely a room I would love to go see at some point, but it's not a room that gets used very often.
yeah.
So it is what it is.
I've never been inside the Salt Lake Temple. I'd love to be in there one of these days.
Yeah, we'll have to get you through there.
We're going to do a tour. If you want to do a tour in September, they will have an app to register when you want to go see it.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to go, because I actually didn't even realize how big that assembly hall is, and I really do hope that's on the list of rooms to go and do. Because that would be absolutely fantastic to go and get to see all that.
Yep.
Especially since it's all pioneer era work too. Seeing how they built this temple and how they got it.
And
basically got it up off the ground.
Hasn't it been running for about 150 years?
Pretty much.
So this will be the first open house for it in 150 years. So if you want to see it, you better plan to come see it.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often. Go ahead and hit that next tab. So here's some more images. Go ahead and keep going over on the images. So we got some more images there of the visitor center. So it shows like the temple grounds.
Yep.
But yeah, that cut open there, that profile of the Salt Lake Temple is freaking awesome.
And you can see it's closed. I believe it's motorized, Kyle. So it'll be closed sometimes and it'll be open others.
Yeah. Well, it probably just opens and closes every couple minutes.
Yeah.
Is probably what it is.
Okay. Do you want to go to the last tab?
Yeah, let's go to that last tab. What is it?
I chose this tab. It gives you a look. So inside the new visitor center, they are adding a section where you can actually go see replicas of some of the rooms that are in our temple. So if you're ever curious,
oh yeah,
and there is no open house anymore, you can go have a look and get a small tour and explain what happens.
Yeah. So right there on that image, babe, that's showing, I think that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth temple down. I believe that's the DC temple. That's my temple for when I was serving a mission.
Huh.
And I believe it is still the largest temple in operation.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think it's really cool. They got a whole row of all these little models of all these temples.
11 miniatures.
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the visitor center is going to be open. It's going to be pretty sweet to see all of it.
A new statue they added.
Yeah, they got a lot of statues they've added.
Come unto me, statue of Jesus Christ. Come unto me,
mm-hmm.
small children.
Okay, keep going.
This one I want to show you. This is going to be inside the visitor center. It's in the basement. You have to make an appointment for it. But here,
it's a mock-up of the actual baptismal font in the Salt Lake Temple.
They have an actual to scale one, so you can kind of see it. Full replica.
All the oxen and everything.
Yep, right there.
Yep.
And then you can see a celestial room. How beautiful they are.
Well, this isn't the Salt Lake Temple, though.
I don't know. This could be various temples, but these are just small mock-ups of how a full-scale replica of what the room would be for the tourists.
Okay, yeah, because this definitely could not be... This can't be the Salt Lake Temple.
No.
I've been in the Salt Lake Temple celestial room. That's not it.
Who knows? They might have just made their own design. And then it kind of skips through. But we wanted to show you this, guys. For the Philippines temple, the open house to be dedicated, we
Yeah.
want to show you what the beautiful
Philippines
pictures
temple is going to be opening up, or it is open up right now,
are.
isn't
It
it?
has an open house. The open house is sometime this year.
Oh,
It's like,
okay.
I don't know for sure when.
Sometime this year, this open house for the new Philippines temple. That'll make what, 4 temples now? Once
It
this
said
one's
it
done.
should be the 6th.
Oh,
they're
dedicated. Oh, shoot.
I think they're dedicating 2 this year.
Wow. So I was way off earlier on the number. They got 6.
Well, it said 3 by the end in December.
All
They
right,
may
we'll
have had
scroll
an
on
open
down.
house. But this shows you some of the beautiful rooms. I love the chandeliers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the celestial room in this temple. I love the glass.
Yeah, and that's not even the important part in the celestial room. But
And
yeah.
here's their baptismal font. You can see the oxen. And a lot of
No,
the
that's
temples,
that is an awesome baptismal font,
and
though,
a lot
for
of
baptism
the
for the dead.
temples will have a theme in their stained glass. Well, which one is roses? Isn't it the Payson one?
I don't know.
Had a bunch of roses.
I don't know.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And this is a ceiling room.
Yeah, that seating room's quite pretty. I
And
like
the
it.
mirrors to help you think about eternity.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Is there a quote we got somewhere? Hold
Nope.
on to John's tradition until he gets back.
This one. I thought this room was beautiful.
Yeah.
This is the bride's room where the bride gets ready.
Oh, is that the bride's room?
Yep,
That's cool.
This is the bride's room. So she has a beautiful mirror.
The one room that pretty much men never get to see.
Hey, a girl wants to feel beautiful on her wedding day. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
We got to the temple so late, I didn't get a chance to appreciate the bride's room.
Yeah, well, that was because of the car accident on our wedding day.
But there you go. There's the beautiful temple. That will be the 6th one open by the end of the year, I believe.
Hopefully we don't have that issue, so maybe you can be in the bride's room with Caitlin when she's getting married.
Hopefully. I hope she chooses to get married in the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Because you and I are stuck together for all eternity, right,
I
hon?
know, we're stuck.
We made that commitment.
Alright, well, let's go ahead and get going. You got one of those quotes for us, or should we just grab a magic card and see what quote we get?
I don't know. I don't really have any right here within reach. I'm a little pinned underneath a little munchkin.
Oh, she fell asleep on you again?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Or you just want to find a good scripture with the theme of what we were doing today.
Well, I don't got my phone on me, so
Do you want
we're
it?
kind of shafted. Sure, toss it. Haha! I got it. Now you can go ahead and scrolling through the different photos there if you want. I know they've got more photos. They've always got more photos. Let's see.
Yep, there's a recommend desk. An instruction room. I love the chandeliers. Oh, look at that detail, Kyle. To show the Philippine heritage.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's beautiful. I love it. A waiting room. I love the colors, the Philippine colors. Then another instruction room. And look at that nighttime. It's beautiful. I love it. If you guys have any kind of questions or any articles you wish us to research, let us know. And we'll try to get it done and do it. So what are you finding, honey? Did you find anything?
Yeah. So this is from the Testament of Naphtali in the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs, an ancient text initially thought to be basically Christian fan fiction until they found a copy of it, along with the testaments of the other 11 patriarchs. The 12 being the sons of Jacob, the house of Israel. In his last words to his children, it was found. So when they found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, that's when they knew it was actually older than Christianity. So it predated the birth of Christ by at least 100 years. And in the second chapter of the Testament of Nephtali, which is supposed to be his last words to his children, verse 31, so then there are 2 commandments, and unless they be done in due order, they bring very great sin upon men. Which is interesting, because he also goes on, so it is with the other commandments, but he talks about the 2, which is quite interesting because we know of the initial 10 commandments from Moses. But when Christ comes, he says there are only 2 commandments, which is to love God and to love one another. And so, however many problems people cause you gotta love them, the children of God, but that doesn't mean you have to let them take advantage of you.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's true.
Well, you guys have a good night. Let's get on out of here and let's get to bed. We'll see you tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Next Saturday.